If you want to know the do's and don'ts for making Minecraft trees, keep on watching. Okay, the first category that we're going to be looking at is shape. Here is a tree that has very poor shape. The structure of it is very lacking, and it just doesn't look completed. The trunk of it is very small compared to the rest, and it also has very chunky and, of course this is Minecraft, but very block-like branches. There are a lot of things that we can do to improve the structure of the tree. One of the obvious changes that we can make to this tree to make it better is to add more branches. Adding more and more branches, getting smaller and smaller up until one block branches, make it look a lot better and more realistic. This creates an effect that's a lot like a tree in real life, and it creates nice places for your leaves. One disclaimer before we move on: you will need to know how to work World Edit if you want to be able to take these tips really well. I am planning on making a World Edit and voxel cipher tutorial, so if you want those, please leave it down in the comments saying that you do and leave a like on the video. Okay, now here we have a tree that actually looks quite nice. It has some roots and it's very tall. Obviously it is a lot larger than the other one, but still it's very tall and it has a lot of branches and they taper out to one block. I am just making this a very large tree just so that it is much easier for you guys to see. Again, it also is hard to create a nice effect when you're on a flat world, because a really good way to make a tree look nice is by creating different levels with the terrain, but of course that's not possible here on a flat world. Here all the branches are nice and random and quite organic. I actually did build this from a reference from a tree, and of course it's obviously not perfect, and I am not the best builder of trees in the world for sure, but this just shows a little bit more on the way that you can make trees look better. Also, a big thing that I did differently with this tree is instead of just using World Edit brushes, I actually used the curve command. I did this with power tools. What you can do with this is that you can make different curves by setting multiple points. Again, when I make a World Edit tutorial, I will include how to do this, but I'm sure there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube right now if you need help with that. And also, you can come to my Discord server, and if you need any help, me or some other people in there could also help you. Alright, the next thing that we're going to be looking at is the color. If you want to improve your color, you can move more than just that one wood block. Again, obviously there is even one lower step where you could not be using six-sided logs, but here is just a normal oak wood log tree, and it looks fine, but there's a lot more that you could do with it. Okay, here we have a tree that looks a little bit better. Of course, it is also the better structure, but I did this just to make my point. Here I used a variety of different brown blocks to really create a nice effect. I used lighter brown blocks on the top parts where the sun would be hitting the tree, and then I used darker brown blocks on the bottoms where the tree wouldn't necessarily get a ton of light. This creates a really nice effect, and it just makes it look a lot better. Again, this is absolutely not perfect, but this is just done here to make a point. Okie dokes, we're going to be moving on to a new category, leaves. Here we have two spheres, one with leaves that do not have much air in it and one that has quite a bit. To be precise, the one that has a lot of air in it is actually 85% air. Unfortunately, I do actually see a lot of trees being built with this little air in it, and it just doesn't look as nice as it could be. And it really is not much more difficult to make a tree that looks so much better just by adding in a lot of air to your spheres. This is really easy. All you have to do is add percentages, and it looks just like this. Also, as a little addition, I also mixed in a tiny bit of jungle leaves into this just for a little bit of variety, making it look a little bit nicer. Okay, using all three of the categories that we talked about, I was able to create this lovely tree. This tree has all three categories of the things that we looked at. It has a nice color, structure, and leaves. I also added the addition of vines made from lilac, and then I also made some nice little flowers on top by the replace command, just using normal World Edit. Of course, I will be teaching you guys how to do this if you guys do want a World Edit tutorial, so let me know. I think just looking at this tree is really nice, and you could also build a lot of things in this. Again, like I said before, it's not perfect at all, and it also is very, very large, and I doubt a lot of people are going to be making trees like this very often. But this is again just to show people how you can make better trees, and it is just a lot easier on this scale. Okay, here are a few examples of trees that look nice and they're quite small, like you would actually have in a normal Minecraft build or world. And these all have really nice color, structure, and leaves, and they're all going to be in different styles. So here we have an autumn fall tree. It looks really nice, it has good structure. If you look closely, it has a gradient of colors, and the leaves just look really nice, and it's so spaced out with the leaves that you could just imagine that it could just be bunched together and something could fly right through it. It just looks really nice. Okay, so here is a pine or spruce tree. Yes, I did not cover this in the beginning of the tutorial, but I thought I would just quickly mention it. Again, you can just make these trees like they do in the default Minecraft, but I think this tree looks a little bit nicer. It has a very sturdy trunk, but all the leaves are really nice. They're bigger at the bottom and they taper out at the top a little bit. They just come out and kind of droop like they would in normal real life. They follow the rules of gravity in the way that the bigger branches droop more because obviously they're being affected more by gravity. A good thing to think about when you're building trees is just to think about stuff like that. If you have very big clumps of leaves, you might want to have the branch droop a little bit. Or like in the big tree, my example, the whole tree is being bent because I had all the trunk at the front and all of the branches at the back kind of bending the tree over, and it looks quite nice, and it's just a really good way to improve your trees. Okay, for the last part of this video, I have this tree. This is probably not a tree that you're going to be using a lot in your Minecraft world, but I just thought I would put it in here. Again, I built this really nice gradient going from darker colors to lighter colors from the top and bottom, and it just looks really, really nice. All of the branches are spaced out nicely, and again, all the gravity is shown here. It's very, very weighted down, and it looks really, really cool. All the leaves also have little flowers. This just looks really nice and makes it look like the tree just bloomed. I really hope you guys like this one because it is really cool, and if you saw my last tutorial, it is also in there. Thank you all so much for watching to the end of this video. I really enjoyed building these trees and making this video. I know a lot of people out there have trouble making their Minecraft trees better, and if you know someone, could you please refer them to this video? That would really mean a lot to me, and I also just like to know that one other person in this building community could have the opportunity to get a little bit better at building. Again, like I said earlier, if you want me to do tutorials on different plugins such as Voxel Sniper or World Edit, leave that down in the comments and leave a like on the video because that tells me that you guys really want that, and I really want to be making videos that help you and that you guys want. It would be so cool if you guys could go down into the description and join my Discord server. If you guys need help or want to show off your builds, that's a great place to do so. I'm also just providing a lot of time for practicing and just for helping out other people, and also it's just really fun and you probably will have a good time. Also, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. I really hope you enjoy the video and have a wonderful day.